If AI doesn't recommend you, who will? So before we begin, raise your hands if you have used ChatGPT, Gemini, or another AI assistant during the past week. Okay. Now, raise your hand if you have already asked an AI assistant to recommend a company, a product, or a service. Okay, I would say probably more than half of the audience. I don't know if the people that are seeing online, I hope that you have showed your hands. Almost everyone. So great. That's why this conversation really matters, because if we think a few years back, all that we were thinking about was, how do I appear in the Google results, like in an organic way? But right now, this conversation shifted, right? So now we don't only care about how we appear on Google, but also what do we need to do to make sure that these AI assistants recommend us? Because like we watch here, many of us use these kind of platforms to have more answers and better answers, right? So before we start, let me briefly introduce you to our great speakers from Flow Productions, the company that brought us here and that made sure that we are here discussing about this theme. Can you please put the other slide? Yeah. Okay. So starting with Carlos Justino. Carlos, he leads the AI and growth at Flow Productions and helps business understand how AI is reshaping digital discovery. So Carlos is the tech man, and if you start thinking that is talking with too many tech language, exactly, please raise your hand so I can make him, yeah. No, you don't need to shut up, but you need to speak to the regular ones that are not, yeah, in this field, yeah. So Mariana, she leads the marketing and communications at Flow Productions and specializes in helping business build authority, credibility, and visibility through content and communication. And last but not least, José. He leads the UX and UI design at Flow Productions, so he helps organizations create digital experiences that people can actually understand. Is anyone here that is not related to marketing or technology? Okay, only one? Oh, okay, so I think that you can use some, yeah, marketing slang and tech slang that, yeah, everyone will understand. So, Carlos, let's imagine that you're explaining this to someone who has never heard the terms of SEO and now the AEO and GEO, something that it's quite new for the majority of people. What do you think that has fundamentally changed in the way that customers discover businesses? Do you think that AI really understands us when we, as a buyer, or not talk to the AI and when we ask for help?
Good afternoon, everyone that are here and also online. So everything changed with buyers in the past 2-3 years, especially with the advent of ChatGPT, Gemini, and all these tools. We've gone through a change that on the past 15 years, like people talked with sales, they interacted with other people to learn about business, to learn about solutions. And then during COVID time, we started going more into going online for answers. And we only wanted to talk with sales when we are ready actually to move forward. And then suddenly ChatGPT comes along, and the last thing we want is actually to talk with sales. We only want to talk with AI, learn everything about the solution, the service that we want to acquire. And if we're ready to buy and when we're ready to buy, We just want a facilitator, not someone to sell. Okay, so that is the big shift in the last, I would say probably like 3 years would be the largest shift. And why we're talking about like AEO, GEO, and SEO in general. So if people behavior change, and it was actually a report from McKinsey early this year that shows that most of the online traffic on Google and other resources is gone down something like 50% in just 1 year. So that's like a telltale signal that people don't search online anymore. They go first to ChatGPT. ChatGPT on its own performs a search and gives the answer. So website traffic is plundering, is just going down like crazy. People go to Gemini, they don't look on the 10 results, they only look on the little short AI summary, and they go from there. So we'll go deeper on this in just a few minutes, but just like to give you like this a little bit of warm up about it. Okay.
So even if companies are already ranking well on Google, like I was saying, why can they still be completely absent when we talk about AI assistants?
Okay, so they're ranking well on Google. They most likely saw like a big drop in traffic in the last few years. So that's independent of the ranking well or not. The traffic is just going down and down. So and just because you're ranking well on Google doesn't mean that ChatGPT or another LLM will actually recommend you as a solution, because you could rank well because you've been throwing content at Google for the past 10 years and Google just shows you in the results. But then ChatGPT is looking for up-to-date answers, is looking for quick wins in terms of content, and you don't have that with your Google SEO done in the past, then you'll not show on ChatGPT. And just following up on the other percentage, that 67% of all searches are done via LLMs, then that's a good sign that you need to move to LLM optimization and not so much to just ordinary SEO.
So it would be fair to say that we need to be trustworthy enough for the AI assistants to reference us as a business.
Definitely, yes.
And can you tell us what do we need to do differently from what we used to do with the search engines, for example, so we can be more trustworthy for the AI assistants?
So that's what we're going to be teaching in just a few minutes. But most importantly is if you want to AI to trust you, if you want AI to actually trust your business, first you have to stop just throwing content at the web and hoping for results. That's the first thing. AI is actually looking for real evidence that you are proper business, that you know what you're talking about, that other people is referencing you as well. And then if they see all that signals, and by the way, they do this in less than 2 milliseconds. If they see all these signals, then they will start referencing you.
Okay. What do you think that it's one mistakes that usually you see when you are reviewing business websites or when you are checking their online presence that makes companies fail in these platforms?
Well, one of the main issues is like for the past 16 years or more, we've been building content for the Google bots. So for the little bot to go in and find information on page. So that's one of the first problems. The second problem is, and this is not even like something that people have thought about before or not, but I would say right now 99% of the websites are not optimized for LLMs. So that alone is a huge problem. So the biggest mistakes are the biggest mistake is actually not doing anything about it right now. Okay.
People here who run business in this room and online. We have only 1, 2, 3, no, 4. Okay, yeah. In the online, I cannot see their faces.
4 more with the
Okay. We are talking about small companies, medium-sized companies, bigger companies, small. Okay. So do you think that a small local business can realistically compete with global brands when we are talking about appear in these results and being referenced by these kind of platforms?
And that actually, this is the biggest opportunity ever that we can actually. I always say that we are leveling the playing field right now, because the small ones can compete against the big ones right now, like at least for now, like as equals. In a few months or a few years from now, I don't know, but like I'm hoping that if people optimize the websites and produce content and have like a proper routine, yes, they will.
Okay, so speaking about websites, I will shift to Jose, because being recommended by AI is only the first step, but the next challenge starts when someone actually visits the website, and you know that better than anyone. Can a beautiful website win prizes and at the same time still fail to convert visitors or even confuse these AI assistants?
So essentially, these prizes, these design prizes on the websites, usually they are made and they're evaluated by creativity and not essentially by user experience wise. So it's treated more as an artistic piece than actually a AI and user experience optimized piece. So that is the first step. And yeah, for for your website to appear on the AI search bots, essentially, your website needs to be extremely complete. So information cannot be hidden inside interactions, and yet most of these websites or experience, they give you information based off an interaction, which is not the ideal case scenario for you to appear on AI models. So, yeah.
Okay, so in your opinion, when an AI recommends a website, what should happen during those first 20 or 30 seconds?
Going to speak further down the presentation. On those first, I wouldn't say 20, 30, I would say like 5 to 10 seconds. Your brand and your website should communicate clearly what they are going to do for your client, what they are going to do, and how can that platform help you fix your problem. So that should be communicated on the landing page and as soon as possible. The message should be extremely clear.
Can you tell us, usually when you are reviewing websites, what are usually the first
The
warning
biggest-
signs? Yeah.
Yeah. So essentially, there are main a bit louder. Okay. So essentially, there are many and many websites that have been made years and years ago, and one of the first things we actually notice is that when a brand, it's not completely well applied to the specific website. So let's imagine that you have a business that, I don't know, it's something about. Can you guys give me like some idea? Okay, so yeah, a travel agency, and if the colors and the palette do not give you the vibe or transmit the idea that this is a website or a platform of a travel agency, that can be problematic, and the user might enter your website and feel like it's something sketchy. Another thing that can also be problematic is the fact that when you are claiming crazy claims that you do on your website that are essentially extremely sketchy, that can also impact the trustworthiness of your platform for your clients.
So you'd say that probably the biggest mistake are when people don't combine all of these things: usability, what do we do, information about the business, and also the design. So it needs to be a combination of all these factors. So we've spoken about discoverability, we've spoken about experience, but there's something that we already speak about: trust. And we already saw that AI doesn't recommend only business because they simply exist. There's a lot of things that we need to do, but especially AI recommends businesses that are credible. So, Mariana, there's a lot of discussions about creating more content, but I think that the more important than create more content is creating better content. Do you agree?
Definitely. So, hi everyone. First of all, you have to understand that every day, about 400 million terabytes of content are being produced. So this is on a daily. So if you're competing for quantity, you will probably lose that fight. So you should really bet on quality and putting your expertise on display, even if that means making less content. Obviously, that AI can give you a push on the producing side, but definitely you should give more importance to showing your expertise, giving value to whoever is watching your website, your social media posts, whatever it is that you're putting out there. Value trumps quantity every time.
Is there like a checklist or something that when you are creating content, you use to make sure that that content, the final result, will give more credibility to these AI assistants?
Yeah, definitely something you should have in mind when you're producing content is to always have the questions your customers might have in consideration, because you're producing content to someone, you're trying to speak to someone, so the message must be clear and answer to exactly what they might be struggling with. So the checklist should be really just going about possible questions your customers might have and making sure that either on your website or anything else that you produce, that you're answering to them on a very clear way that shows expertise on your side, but also that you're trying to help them with real life situations.
This is like more like a personal question.
Mm-hmm.
We are seeing that, especially with the younger generations, they use TikTok a lot to search information that usually we use the AI assistants. Yeah. But it's something that we don't see in other platforms like Instagram or Facebook.
Definitely, yeah.
Do you think that the content that is created for TikTok and the way that the AI assistants rank this content and give these results, from your experience, do you think it's the same or it's different? So imagine if I am creating content for TikTok and if I am creating content thinking about how I will rank in the AI assistants, do I need to think this separately and differently, or I can make the same strategy?
I don't think you should use the same strategy in any platform. Obviously, you have to have a foundation for whatever content you're producing, but definitely adapt to each platform because, as you said, you will encounter a different public, and that's inevitable. So, yeah, and behavior, things they're looking for. So everything will change according to the platform you're using. So only having a updated website is not enough. You should always look out for your social media as well. That includes TikTok, because that will change how your AI discoverability is higher or not. So yeah, you should have that in consideration.
Many SMEs don't have marketing departments yet. Usually, it's not something that they value in the beginning. If you had to choose between paid advertising or improving AI visibility, what would you choose?
Small business, I think the answer is pretty clear. You have to bet on AI visibility because there's small things you can do, and we will discuss them here during our presentation, that will improve your AI score immensely and make you visible to other audiences that until now you probably had more difficulty getting to.
Okay. So you think that this is a question from Tony Judge, do you think AI research, the AI search will replace Google ads in the future, or if you think
I
that
think it's possible in the future, yes.
at the moment you think it didn't?
I think right now, no,
Okay.
because there's still Google search happening and Google ads are still relevant. As everything in marketing, you have to have in consideration your audience and make a study to see where you should bet on.
What works for?
Yeah, what works better.
Yeah.
But maybe in the future, yes, I think, yeah, sure.
Can I just compliment that? Because this is something that I was actually reading about a couple of weeks ago. AI search is actually, right now, it's actually making paid ads more expensive. So it's more people fighting for the same audience. So like it's actually getting more expensive.
It's like television
Yeah.
when internet appeared.
Exactly. So, but like the good thing about it is the LLMs like ChatGPT, they are already using, not in Europe because it hasn't been approved yet, but they're already using in South America and other countries ads inside ChatGPT. So that alone tells that like the ads will always be something that we need to invest money on. And in my opinion, well, actually, if you use the correct tools, it makes the ads cheaper, because if you have like precise audience, content, assets, it will lower the cost that you like pay per click.
Right.
Okay.
Before we move on to the presentation, because our specialists, they will give us more information about what we were talking about. And this moment was only to unveil the things a little bit. I would like to make a rapid fire round with you. So one sentence only, whatever comes to your mind. One thing every business should do this month.
Me?
Yeah, you can start.
First thing, start planning who's your audience, who's buying your product, and most important, I would say the UVP, the unique value proposition. Sorry.
One thing every business should stop doing right now.
You should stop trying to make pretty websites only and start focusing on value.
What's one website you think is a brilliant example of clarity?
One that's made by us, which is Zion. Yeah, Zion Creative. Yeah, I'm not. I mean, we can, for instance, just take as an example Apple's products websites. I mean, they can clearly communicate what the product is and who the product is for. So
Yeah,
I
who's
think
the
that's-
target.
yeah, exactly.
You can go back to Mariana. One word that will define digital marketing over the next 5 years.
AI.
And now we can finish with you. Complete this sentence. The companies that will thrive in the AI era are the ones that.
I was going to say something bad, but no, are the ones that invest in long-term marketing.
Okay, so thank you. Listening to all of you, I think that one thing that really stands out is that we are talking about AI, but in reality, we almost did not speak about AI. We talked about clarity, we talked about experience, we talked about trust. And I think that what you guys are doing right now at Flow Productions is something that makes you different. And I believe that is also what makes you so trustworthy. So I think that we can move on to the presentation, and then we can open the Q&A to the audience, because maybe some of their questions have their answers right now.
Okay, so this we'll try to make it as quick as possible through the presentation. The goal is actually to give you insights that you can take home and start applying yourselves to your businesses. And to do that, we need to first understand the reality. So the main question here is like the customers have changed and how they search for things have changed. So we talked a little bit about it, but for example, before we used to have a lot of money spent on social media, ads, and search engine optimization, SEO, mostly on Google. Now we have people that still use the search engines, but they have two options. They have the search engine and they have the AI search in that same engine. Then you have the AI assistants that mostly everyone is using them, like we saw here and also online that everyone raised their hands when we talked about the LLMs. Then we have also the social and community environments. This was something that like for a few years people started looking away from, but now it's coming back very strong. It was actually a report from Reddit a few months ago saying that like more and more people are using Reddit again and LinkedIn communities to find answers. Well, the only thing we don't know if it's real people asking Reddit and communities or if it's an AI bot that is asking Reddit. But that's another discussion. And the other thing is because people have access to such a lot of information right now just by asking ChatGPT to build up a report, they most likely talk internally, or in other words, to their peers inside the companies before they even go out to speak to a company. So they're probably going to download the report from ChatGPT, get a board meeting or a team meeting, ask the questions, and then only after that, they'll actually go in and speak to someone at that specific company. Okay, so I think this is okay. Moving forward to this one. Okay, I just don't know if it's on me or if it's guys. Okay, just a second. Okay. Okay, TJ. Oh, cool. Yeah. So before, like I mentioned, like people is to just go to search engine and just visit the website, have the information on the website, and then fill out the form, wait for someone to reply, or just call the number, and that would be it. Like would be a straight line. Now we have people that first they ask broad questions about services, products, and businesses. Then they compare answers. And when they compare answers, it's no longer just one website to the other. Is they're probably going to ask Perplexity, then ChatGPT, then Claude, then Gemini, and probably a few more, like just to compare a few different viewpoints. And then only after that, they go to the website. And the cool thing about the website is if the website doesn't provide an artificial intelligence chatbot, is already losing a little bit as well, because people go to the website, but because they are, I don't like to call it lazy, but I think that's the best word for it right now, is we are becoming very lazy in terms of reading content on pages. So if we see a chatbot on a page, what we're going to do? We're just going to click the chatbot and ask what's on that page. We don't even want to read the content of that website. So that's another thing. And we'll probably ask the same chatbot for proof of reputation of that company. So everything happens in an AI environment, even when we are inside websites. And then after that, we create a short list. And from there, we then start picking our best players. Okay. So the next one. Okay. So, and this is actually quite a recent study that we brought to you guys. 8% of all clicks right now, they actually show the AI summaries. You've probably seen, like when you are on Google, the first thing that shows is just an AI summary. And majority of people right now, as soon as they read the AI summary, they don't visit any pages at all. They just trust that AI summary, like if it was God itself saying that, yes, that's true, and you should believe it, and then they go from that to the decision point. Okay, so that's a really important number here. And the other one is that clicks without the AI summary, 15% of all clicks, people usually they go to pages that have AI solutions inside, like I mentioned before, to summarize that information. So if you have that AI summary or chatbot inside your page, 26% of those clicks will be for you. The rest, like the 16%, will be for the traditional websites, for example. Yeah. And going to the next one. So the main question here is no longer do we rank on Google, do we rank on what was the other one, like Bing? Yeah, exactly. It was I think before it was 96% was on Google, 4% was on Bing or something like that, and a little bit. Okay, so now it's more important than do we rank is, does AI understand us? Will AI think I'm good enough to be used as a reference? And will AI think I'm good enough to be included in results? Okay, so that's the most important thing.
I would say, what does an AI system need to do all of that?
Okay, I always use for example, in terms of what Marianne was saying, in terms of quality of content. More content doesn't mean more quality. The way that you place a content, like Jose was saying, in terms of user experience is very important as well. And then I always use this saying that is, okay, you tell me who can prove that you are you. Like basically, it's if no one is referencing you online, if you don't show up anywhere else apart from your website, then most likely AI will just jump you and go to the next guy. So it's not, right now it's very important for us to, especially the number 5 here, like does AI really believe that we are what we're saying that we are? It doesn't matter if if you have your logo, your security and everything else, or even if you have like in Portugal, the NIF, even if that's on a page, it doesn't matter, because it's so easy for people in AI to create pages right now that the trust part of it, the proof is very important. Okay.
It's not only a thing of if you are not seen, you are forgotten.
That's
kind of
before it was a lot like that. You
Yeah.
had to be seen like all the time. You have
right
to
now.
like
It's not
yeah.
only that you need to do more.
The noise is not just like before, like the more noise you make, like at one point you're gonna get results. But right now is, yes, you need to like make a lot of noise because you still have a lot of competition, but that noise needs come to with a proof as well.
All these 5 signs, they need to be answered in the first page, or
It needs to be answered in every page that you build. And most
Okay.
importantly, you need to be able to answer all these in a matter of milliseconds. Okay, because humans will take, usually once we land on a page, it takes us around like 4 to 8 seconds for us to skim the page, understand, yeah, this is for me, makes sense, I'm going to read the rest. AI jumps on a page, reads only a little bit. If it makes sense, then you'll carry on. I think we have actually something a bit more about it.
every page that you create on the website needs to answer
Yeah,
all of these.
and
Like a checklist
Yeah.
of sorts.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And it's also very important because and that's a good one, because a lot of people, they see website as I have my own page and then I have the service or product pages. But if we think about it, most people will not land on your own page first. They'll first land on a service or product page, and then they'll probably go to the home page. So
I think usually we think about websites like if we are navigating
yeah.
with a lot of
Yeah.
free time
Exactly.
to be there and all of that, and
Yeah.
usually that's not what happens.
Well, you just need to open Google Analytics. The direct traffic is probably one of the lowest indicators right now. And the direct traffic is actually people that paste the URL, go to the home page, then from there, okay, I like this, let me find out more. But if we're talking about someone asking a specific question to AI, and these days we almost write a book for like for AI to give us an answer. So it's very specific. So AI is not going to homepage, it's actually going to that very specific answer. And sometimes even service pages are not enough anymore. You actually need to build a landing page specific to your target audience, specific for that campaign that you're launching at that.
Especially for campaigns.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's very important as well. So okay, I think the next one, yeah.
SEO,
So
yeah.
yeah, so we got to. Do you want to take over this one?
About in the beginning.
Yeah.
There's
So
a
that's
lot
the
of
part?
new names.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got a few names here, but
Yeah. Okay, so I will take over here a little bit. So we already know our little friend SEO. So everything you do to optimize your website so you can appear higher on Google. But now you also have two new friends you have to take in consideration, and those are AEO and GEO. And AEO is basically built on clarity. So if you put out content that is clear, that is trustworthy, AI search engines will go and find that content and give it to people as answers. So basically you're building content to be the answer. And on the other side, GEO is building your credibility and reputation so you can be cited on AI platforms as a trustworthy source, basically. I don't know if you want to add something here.
I think, and we'll try to get Jose involved as well. Okay, the other part, like, and a lot of people say, okay, so this means I don't have to do SEO anymore. No, that's not true. You still need SEO because you still need good code, you still need crawlability, you still need speed, you need accessibility, and a few more things that we're just going to show in a second. So now don't just forget SEO. You still need SEO. And if you
has new friends.
and in terms of experience, would you like to give a little input on that?
Yeah, I mean, as you guys already said, it's extremely important for the content itself to be present and to be present clearly. As I'm going to speak on the next slide, can you? Yeah.
Just before we wanted to do the Mentimeter,
Okay, okay.
can you guys scan this if it's possible? If not,
Yeah. Basically, if you guys want, you can leave us your website or a website that you would like to see evaluated, and we will show you basically what you can improve. And yeah,
I think you
I don't know if I'm.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, you were just seeing me.
Cool.
No.
Let me know when I can see it right again.
So you guys will send like a small report.
Yeah, we'll
You'll do an evaluation.
Yeah.
Okay.
we can even pick one and do live.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
ideal case
That would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully, online, people that are watching us online, you can also leave your websites on the comment section, and we can see if we.
But online people are also watching the presentation, so
Yes.
they can the codes.
Thank you.
I don't know if the presentation is. Oh, we got someone putting a like here in the comments.
Maybe you can evaluate
Okay.
that one. It's the website from
Mm.
inspiredhealth.com.
So while I do that, you
Would
want
be
to.
tricky. Yeah, but would be tricky to share.
Yeah.
How are we going
And you
to?
guys, they are taking care of.
So okay, so essentially, does anybody here know what these cool guys crawlers are, or what do they do, or anybody has heard of it, of the term?
Explain.
Yeah, that might be easier. So essentially, crawlers are cool pieces of software that can track down your website and present them to the users. So essentially, for these guys to do a good job, the first requirement is extremely simple. AI needs to be able to access your content before recommending to other users. So search engines and Google traditionals SEO, they use these guys to recommend and websites to people, so that they can appear in the main page. But there are a few tricky things, because the traditional Google bots, they can read through JavaScript and all other plugins, but AI crawlers nowadays, they simply can read the plain HTML. So, and essentially, the idea is that the answers for the clients should appear in the plain HTML of your website. So, yeah, speed and mobile performance should also be heavily considered on this, because if your platform cannot be read in the first 2.5 seconds, AI will not recommend it. So, yeah. And the key message here is essentially to not hide the meaning of your business, and you should make it visible from the beginning. So make a clear proposition of what your platform is for and answer the client's questions. And as we were saying before, here we have one example of Zion's page speed, which was one of our most recent clients that we did this job. If the technical service could provide us, that would be awesome. Just so you guys can see. Just so you guys can see the example that we have present here. So, yeah, on the first stage, we worked with them to develop the visual language, so the branding, their identity, and then we worked together, me, Marianne, and the branding team, in order to provide a digital and web platform for the specific case. As Mariana said before, they are a travel agency, but they are not a normal travel agency. So the idea of Zion is that they have a lot of experience, and whatever you want to do, you're going to be able to do it. So yeah, the first step was to create the branding. After that, we created and worked on the marketing and tried to give some ideas and some feedback. It's not, yeah, it's loading. So yeah, and from that we start to develop the user experience in order to answer Zion's own questions. So yeah, as you can see, I will try to translate, but these are the, and you can also do these tests on your own website if you want to analyze the metrics. But these metrics analyze the performance, the accessibility, the recommended practices, the traditional SEO, and bottom down the line, you can also see how long it will take for a user to be able to find the information they need on your platform. So yeah.
Rank your now, as of lately, not very long time, Google also, the page speed also gives you the AI score, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just adding
So
that.
yeah, and yeah, you can kind of see here. This is one of the platforms you made. You can kind of see the performance. But yeah, I would ask if possible for our colleagues. Yeah. So as you can see, the first content it loads on under 1 second, which is amazing, and it's fantastic. So yeah, page speed index is at 1.2 seconds, which is also that something that AI, the quicker is your website, the faster AI will track it, and the faster it will recommend to your clients. So yeah, I would ask now for our colleagues to go back to the presentation, if possible.
There should be a new link there to click as well on the presentation.
Okay.
If you refresh the page, there should be a new link.
So next.
Not in the,
Yeah.
so
So
I've actually analyzed the other website that was requested.
oh, okay, okay. Maybe it's not
Refresh the
updated.
presentation?
Yeah.
Is it this results?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the result.
So technical issues.
That's what we get when
It's yeah.
This is what we get when you are trying to interact.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
It's not a problem.
We always complain when we see spotty iteration the signal.
Yeah, yeah.
Now we understand. that.
So yeah, maybe later on we can, or yeah, okay, yeah. Later on we can try to track, and we can give feedback on this same platform that was given to us. So yeah. Oh, okay, perfect. So as you can see, the first step, which is the the performance, yeah, it's at 36. Like this is please don't take this in a bad mood, but this is yeah, this is awful. So as you can see, the SEO is at 92%, but the page performance is at 36, which means that AI won't recommend this platform because it takes too long to load. One of the things that AI and AI crawlers also have a hard time finding is these pop-ups. These are awful because what's going to happen is that when AI searches through a platform, the first thing they will read is this pop-up and not the page itself. So you should not have these types of pop-ups on your platform. As you can see, for the first content to appear, it takes 10.5 seconds. Would you guys stay 10.5 seconds waiting for a single page to load? You know, it's a long time.
We already talked that you only have 4 seconds.
Yeah.
We already talked that we only have 4 seconds to actually capture someone's attention, and then you only have milliseconds to capture AI attention. So if AI is trying to enter this website and it takes 10 seconds to load, most likely AI will leave the website without even reading a single line of code or text. So
Sorry, Jose, you said that those kind of pop-ups are awful for
Yeah.
AI. So
Yeah.
What should
Why?
we do instead?
I mean, this content, I would assume it's a newsletter content. Maybe one of the solution, it's a discount. Okay, maybe one solution is if you're trying to, firstly, if you're trying to require for someone to leave their personal information, you should not ask them to leave the personal information as the first step, because like you're actually trying like,
Yeah, you're not respecting the customer's journey on your website because for someone to subscribe for a newsletter, and that means they want to hear more from you. That means that they have,
already know something about
yeah, they have to be a more mature client and not someone who just discovered you. So
Also, it's like, and also to get the discount, I first need to know what you're selling.
yeah, I need to know if I want to buy something.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll, for example, if you're offering 15% discount, but I don't even know if this product's going to solve my problem. So the discount at this moment is not that relevant for me. But if I give more information away and then I just show a promo code or whatever, or if I use AI to make it even more special, this code is just for you that was like reading about this, and that will make it even more special.
The promo codes are not wrong. It's a good strategy if it applies to your business, but maybe it's just not the right timing to put it immediately when you get on the website, especially if it's a new customer, because they won't know what to do with it probably.
Thinking about user experience, do you think probably banners work better than pop-ups?
I would say that maybe a banner or in the footer asking for their email or something like that. So because it's not a necessity for people to leave their credentials to you for them to access the platform. Because here, what it seems that you're trying to sell without giving any or providing any feedback of the product itself. I would ask them just to go a little bit up just to show. And I think that from what it seems from this small view, I would say that this is taking a long time to load because you have a lot of animation as well as the images itself do not seem to be optimized. One of the examples is transitioning the images to EPI instead of PNG or JPEG. So yeah, if you could go back to the presentation, that would be awesome. So
Conhan McKernan, sorry if I spelled it wrong. I would say that probably Flo, after this presentation, will get in touch with you to
can provide some
Yeah,
feedback on
to provide you some feedback.
Yeah.
And also, there were some people here that sent their websites. So at the end of the event, Flo will see the websites that you sent through Menti, and also through the call, and then they will send you their reports. It's easier.
They're online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you haven't put your website already and you are interested and you don't want to be exposed in here, you can send it also, because after the event, they will make this evaluation in a more confidential way.
Yeah.
More timely way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now we're going, as I was saying previously, and my colleague said previously, we're going to talk now about the visibility and experience. So these are two things that need to work together in order for your platform to appear on Google Chat or Google or traditional AI bots. And essentially, they need to go through these 4 steps. So the first step, the client needs to understand what is the product and what is it for? Is it for me? Should I use it? Is it something that will fit my needs? The second one would be the trust factor. So essentially, when a user visits your platform and you give empty promises, or crazy promises of a product that can fix all of your problems, that can be tricky because people obviously won't believe it. So yeah, this trust factor is one that gives a lot of weight in the deciding factor of the client, which is the next step, which is the evaluation. So essentially, with all the information that you are given, the client can decide whether or not they are going to act on giving your product a chance or buying your product. And yeah, that would be the concept here. So
Just
do you
going
want
to,
to?
yeah, just To build on what Jose already said, and I agree with everything, but just on more of a content perspective of what you should really give more importance to when you're building your website. And going through this customer journey, when he gets to your website, the first thing he will want to know is, what is this? And is it relevant to me? So you should really try to give opening statements that are not vague. When you go to some websites, you usually see something like, we create optimized solutions, or we transform possibilities. And although that might sound really poetic and beautiful, that's not, what am I looking at the end of the day? And as Carlos said many times now, you have a short amount of time to really catch your audience. So you want to be straightforward with them and very clear on what you're selling. And that goes for AI as well. So you really should be starting with headlines and punchlines that answer to this question. On the second stage, the trust, they will ask, can I believe these claims? Because anyone can really say they are the best in the business, but you have to back up your claims. So when you're building content with that in thought, in mind, you should try to put on your website something like testimonials, prevalent clients that you might have, certifications, case studies, anything that can build up that credibility with your audience. So that's the type of content you should be making to answer to this question. Oh yeah, this connects to Google's EEAT framework. That's basically experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. So basically, to build trust, you should try to hit all of these points and have this little cheat code in mind. And when you get to the question of, can I compare and decide, how can I know that this is the best option for me content-wise, you should make something like service details, pricing guidance, frequently asked questions. So really give content to the audience they can use to make a pros and cons list, or to compare with other websites, other companies on the same market. Because strong marketing should really be able to reduce this uncertainty. So that's really what you should focus on this stage. And then, but not the least important, because at the end of the day, you want to sell, you have to think about your customer's next stage. And this goes to probably the call to actions. As we were saying about the discounts, you have to have in mind where your customer's journey is when they visit your website. If I'm just getting on your website, and I might know you, I might not know you, but I might be looking for something specific. I might not be on a stage that I'm ready to contact you or to buy something. But maybe I'm on a stage that I can maybe watch a case study, or I can try a tool that you created to audit something that I want with no commitment, for example. So you have to really be mindful of the call to actions that you put on your website and when you put them, so you can accompany naturally your customer's journey and not being forceful on what you want them to do. And when you look at all of these questions and all of these stages, you basically have to have in mind that every screen that your customer goes through should be the answer to their next question. You have kind of to be psychic. I think that's a soft skill that marketers should have. And really be able to focus on what questions could be on their mind at any given moment, and make sure that they will be looking at the answer with no effort to find those.
Next one.
Yeah.
Actually, go a bit faster. Oh.
Yeah, let's get these up.
Yeah. So yeah, this was something that we have spoken previously, but yeah, essentially, firstly, you need to give trust to your client before asking for them for their information. So many websites currently, they ask for visitors to complete a form or some sort of exchange of information before providing any visible feedback or something positive to the client. this is something that can break the user experience, because usually website or a platform provides a useful guide or something like that. But if they are hiding it behind a form paywall, this is not a good exchange, because most users won't have the hassle to complete this form and to essentially exchange your information and give them your information in exchange of essentially nothing for now. So a better approach is actually to provide some value immediately. So as soon as the user gets into your platform, they should have the answers for their questions. This can be an open checklist, a calculator for something, frequently asked questions, a benchmark for their platform, which currently we have for page speed. So you can also analyze free, and we don't ask for forums or anything like that. You can analyze your own website if you want to through our platform. But yeah, so firstly you need to provide value, and then you can ask for the client's own visitor to take the next step. So the sequence should be explaining. After explaining, you should prove, and then invite the client to give you the information. Yeah. So the form or the AI agent should be a natural part of the experience, and not something that blocks the experience and the interaction between the agents.
Just a quick note on that. On this stage, when you're building valuable content, you should really have in mind demand generation campaigns and not only lead generation campaigns. So basically the difference is when you're talking about a demand generation, you're creating something of value that will later probably spurge demand on something that you're selling without any commitment. So you're showing authority on your sector, because you're providing to the audience something free without commitment that they can use and bring value into whatever they need. And then maybe if they have a necessity for what you're selling, they will remember that you built that, you made that available, and you will become more desirable because of that, other than a company they haven't had any contact before, or that asks for their informations on a form before offering real value, as José said.
Yeah.
So I will not dwell on this a lot, because we already talked about this on the beginning of our presentation. But to improve your AI discoverability, you should also focus not on generic content that you can post an insane amount of per week, but focus on an original point of view, content that would really add value to your client. And that will really build on your credibility among your audience, other than just spitting content just because you can. Obviously, AI can really improve your capability of production, so you can make a lot more content on the same amount of time. But you should never replace your thinking ability and your expertise, because that cannot be replaced by an AI, at least in a 100% efficient way. You always have to proofread at least and make sure that you're really giving something of value to your customer.
And also to maintain the originality.
Yeah, definitely. All the things, the brand voice, that you're communicating with the right tone, to the right audience, that you're staying true to your values, your mission, everything. Yeah.
And also, just to complement, there's always sometimes the need to adapt the marketing strategy in order for the specific client or the specific scenario of the client. So, and this takes effort and thinking from people behind the marketing. So, yeah.
Now focusing again on your website and on the content perspective. Like Carlos already said, AI will not read your whole website. So instead of focusing on writing a beautiful page that answers to everything, but it's really long and maybe it doesn't respond right away to what people are looking for, you really should focus on writing great sections and really great opening statements that answer to the question clearly and right away. So basically, when you're writing each section on your website, you should have these 4 stages in consideration. And that being answer first, and this is something that journalists do with the inverted pyramids technique. So basically, you lead with the answer first and then explain. So AI will find what you're talking about more easily, and the public as well. Then you have to make sure that each paragraph that you write or each section can stand alone on your website and fully give the audience all the information they need without having to scan through every information you have available. Then obviously you have to add evidence. So something that builds on the credibility of what you're saying. And obviously keep current. You have to make sure that what you're saying is actualized, it's clear facts, the sources, the dates, everything is up to date, because then we will be of interest to no one.
Exactly. And can I?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So in this last stage is also important because currently we are facing a moment that AI starts to produce information and spreading information, wrong information in AI agents, and AI is going to search through that same information that it's not correct. This is why it's extremely important to have the sources and the correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wait, just going to put this here. Yeah. Then to build authority, so AI can recommend you as a credible source and cite you on answers. You have to look outside your bubble. So obviously your website has to check all of the points that we've talked about until now, but you also have to see outside and look at all your digital ecosystem. And that means looking at reviews, at partnerships you might have with other companies, at media mentions, at your professional profiles like social media or communities you might be subscribed on, because all of this will back up all of your claims. And this goes to show that it's really important for companies right now to bet on a link building strategy. And that's basically making sure that your company is cited on other websites that are also credible. And that will make AI, when they're seeing if all of your claims are correct, they will look at your digital ecosystem and see if that's true, and make it more likely or less likely, on the other hand, to be cited as a credible source.
Translate what is link building, please?
Yeah, basically link building is all of this that I've said. So you have a website, your website has a link, and basically link building is making sure that that link of your website is mentioned and cited on other platforms, and that might be other articles that other companies publish, that might be social media posts, that might, yeah, press releases, so media presence, anything that other entities can cite you on and put your link on whatever they publish, so that AI can recognize that you're being mentioned on other places of the internet and not only on your website.
Okay, so this should be changing. It should. Wrong way. Okay, so most important thing right now, like good data, good output, bad data, bad output, and this is being nice in a way of reflecting. But it's very important to understand that all of this is only possible and achievable if you have data about who's visiting your pages, who's asking questions, if they where you're being referenced at. Because okay, I'm going to do a link building strategy, but where should I go? Like, who should I be knocking at the door and ask, hey, could you put a link for my website? We need data. So in order to do this, and right now with Claude and ChatGPT, this is quite easy to do. We need to constantly be sending queries to ChatGPT, Gemini, asking, does my page show for this question? And ChatGPT will most likely tell yes, no, or what percentage of times that show. Same for Claude. I can actually build something very quick in Claude to give you that information. Okay, so that will give you AI visibility. But we also need to understand, using Google Analytics or any other analytical tool, who's actually visiting the page, why they're visiting the page, what they're clicking on, what they're reading. If you have an AI tool inside the page, and I recommend you to do so, those metrics should be sent to Google Analytics or to an AI assistant that is tracking that information. Without that, it's just more or less worthless because you're just trying to guess. And the bad thing about guessing is marketing has been doing that for since 1920. We've been trying to guess, and we fail most of times. Like I'm a marketeer as well, not only tech, and I have to say, like over the time, like the guessing does not really work. So use data, use AI to give you that data, and based on that data, then you do your changes. For example, I like to put that before I start a marketing campaign, I need to find data about my target audience, to then from that information, what they like, what they don't like, what they need, then I build a marketing campaign around it, and I build my website around it as well. Okay. So going to the next one. We almost at the end, so I can see that you're all really bored right now. Like, but we are coming close to the end. Especially Graham, I'm looking at. I'm joking, Graham. Okay, so if you could take anything from this event, from this panel, the first things is, like, on first week is clarify the proposition. I mentioned earlier on, like, the unique value proposition. What am I really selling? Because sometimes what we believe that is what we're selling is not really what we're selling. Like, I'll give you an example. McDonald's, they don't just sell burgers, they sell experiences, they sell time for people to spend with friends, colleagues, and family, whatever. So they found out that a long time ago, and instead of putting their competitors as Burger King, Wendy's, or whatever, they actually put their competitors as cinemas, as other events that are happening, theaters, and things like that. So you need to find clarity in this. Secondly, map the real customer questions, not just finding out, okay, my real customer is a marketing director of companies that are this size, that size, or whatever. That's not enough. You need to find out what their pain is. And we use it in marketing, we use a lot the term pain, but like, what are the challenges, what they really need to find answers for. And then once you have those questions answered, then you can make your service pages a bit more explicit, answering those questions. Then second week, like, this is already a big challenge here, but doing your website over again. If your website is, for example, on WordPress, I would advise you to build it from scratch with code that is adequate for LLMs, for web search, for AI web search as well. So that was really important. Accessibility, mobile speed, and all this metadata is really important as well. On week 3, as you can see here, find proof. So it's very important for you to add information that can serve as proof. And on week 4, actually get people to mention you. And this can start very easily. I can go to a Sortlist website, or G2, or Capterra, or other portals where I can just go and throw information about my service or company or app or whatever, and they will publish online as a review. And then you can ask people that you know to go there, okay, go and place a review on Capterra or G2 about my company. Or even like Trustpilot, that is actually one of the big solutions right now. So start with this, then you move to the hard ones, that is actually getting in contact with copywriters to, could you cite my content, and I'll do the same for you. Okay? So link exchange. Próximo. And okay, now we have what you should not be doing. Okay, that is this is also very important. Yeah. Well, there's no magic in this. It's hard work. The good thing about it is the hard work now can be done almost 90% by AI agents. So you can just go in. Yeah, you can go and drink a gin and tonic or a beer while ChatGPT is doing the hard work for you. So that's a good thing. The other one is stop with AI slob. just publishing more more content doesn't mean more quality. The other one, this one is something that I've been talking about for a long time, is if you have important information to share, don't put it behind the form. It's just, first, users in general, they don't like to give information like to a form. Secondly, AI cannot go past your form. It will not fill out the form, especially if you have recaptchas and things like that on your website. Okay, and for me, most important as well is, if it's really valuable, why hiding? Are you afraid of your competitors? Most likely, they'll never see it. So that's also important. And also here is a lot of people right now, especially because ChatGPT is writing content for us. ChatGPT shows like, this is the best company in the world that produces the best service around A, B, and C. Stop doing these vague claims as well. You need to prove that you're actually doing a good job. And don't treat AI visibility as a one-off project, because this is a long-term, it's a marathon, not a sprint, as we say. Okay, and next one. Já vai para Q&A, pode falar.
Yeah, I
Okay.
have just a question, because I know that you are a big advocate of AI and technology,
Yeah.
and we know that there are a lot of business that are replacing people with AI, because AI, it's things are doing more quickly, like you said. Do you think that for everything that we talked about in here, do you think that it's wise from a business to do all of this only with AI? Because there are a lot of platforms that write code and that create websites and that create content and everything. Do you
Okay.
think that it's something that it's wise? I know that you are an interested part in this theme, but your genuine opinion.
My opinion, yes, you can let AI do the job for you, but you as a human, you should be supervising AI. You should be piloting AI. And the reason I have to say yes is because I've actually built this. We actually have a solution that does all of this in a lot more using AI collaborators. So yes, I have to say you can use AI for it. But one thing that we did in our platforms is every action that, or every piece of content, image, or everything that AI creates, we have, before it's deployed, AI asks the human, is this okay? Would you change anything? And if you want to change it, just click on it and you can change it on the go. Or even an image, we have like tools that if you're not happy with something inside an image, you just open the AI designer and just say, change this, change that, and it will do exactly that for you. So yes, you can do AI, but you cannot just trust 100% of like everything that AI gives you. So
You can use AI for everything, but only if you know a lot about.
yeah, you have
These
to at
topics,
least know about your company.
So
You know?
if anyone is
So-
thinking about doing all of this with AI, our recommendation is talk with Flow Productions, so you don't end up in a rabbit hole. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's actually like something that we would like to offer everyone that is here in presence in actual online. We're going to run from August all the way to September clinics here at the Tech Campus. So if you want to come for like a 1 hour, present your main challenge, you'll get out of that meeting with a roadmap of implementation and all the things that you need to fix. So
And if anyone wants to come to those clinics, how do they
just
get in touch with you?
we have a few people from Flow here. You can just grab us, like one of us, like we'll be doing networking in just a few minutes. So you just come over and say, yes, I'm interested in one of the clinics. This is just, we're going to build this report. We don't ask for anything in return. It's just we're trying to help, because we're living a moment that websites need to change, companies need to change, and every little help counts on that road. So
And for the ones that are watching us virtually, they
They
can
can send us an email
Send us a-
or contact
Yeah,
us
anyone.
anywhere.
flowproductions.pt.
only the ones that are in India, we cannot go to you, or like that's that will be a little bit hard right now. Yeah.
So just a wrap up. So first, AI hasn't replaced search. It has expanded it. Second, being recommended is only valuable if your website delivers a great experience. And third, visibility is not about gaming AI. It's about building trust through clear communication, strong evidence, and genuine expertise. Would you all agree with this? I think those are the biggest remarks. Yeah. So anyone has questions?
Now it's the time.
Now is the time. I can see a question.
Graham
there.
has a
Let
question.
me-
Yeah.
I'll go there. So, okay.
Temos que agradecer os parceiros também.
Eu vou tirar vocês que eu usei aqui no tempo de irem para o website. Isto não conseguimos.
So,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah. Hi. Thanks, guys, for a really interesting LLMs going forward.
Okay, so the straight answer, yes. Like you have different LLMs for different tasks, different services in general. So if you want like a general day-to-day, like a ChatGPT works really well. But if you want more research, Perplexity would probably be a good choice. Claude, they starting to move from general answers to actually more code building, or I wouldn't say code building, but tool building. I think it makes it easier because they really want to help people build whatever they need on the spot. And Kimi K3, they actually got blocked again. So they come out. It was really interesting. I was about to go for it. And the European government, they just said, okay, no, not yet. You have to wait. So but it's probably one of the best models out there right now. And then you have like specific needs. For example, if you need audio, like text to speech, for example, you probably go to 11 Labs. If you need building like presentations, ChatGPT does a really good job at it. So it's identifying like which one is the best. But at the same time, I understand that we cannot spend like 500, 600 euros every month on licenses for every LLM that is out there, because only crazy people do that. I'm one of them, but, but only crazy people do that. And then,
Yeah. So, sorry.
You can also ask the LLM what specific LLM it's the best
Yeah.
for your required task. So yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Another question there. Where is the
The mic?
microphone? Yeah. Thank you.
yeah, it's just for the online
Yeah,
people
just for
to,
the online people.
It's a bit vague, but we've spoken a lot about value, delivering value, good content, trust signals, building confidence in your potential clients, etc. All very important. How does AEO and AEO evaluate content that has been created by AI?
well, there's already filters to find out if the content is AI generated. Google actually released a protocol around that and the tool around that not long ago. I think it was May this year. So we can definitely find out if content is AI generated. But obviously, there's a few hacks that we can use to humanize that content. So it's always a way around it. In the end of the day, we humans, we like to to change things. But I think most importantly is we are not saying that you should not use AI for content generation. Quite the opposite. You should use AI for content, enough context, and then you can evaluate what AI wrote and ask AI to change whatever it needs changing to make it really valuable.
Content on the site is about 99% human created. Okay,
Yeah.
brainstorm sometimes with AI, but content in and of itself is human generated. However, FAQs, for example, get lazy on that. So we press a FAQs generated by AI. They'll always be edited and checked, but I'm just wondering if there's like, if it raises any kind of red flags, shall we say?
No, not really. As long as the value doesn't mean if it's human generated or not. Just means if it really provides value. So no, yeah, if it's useful, then it's okay. And honestly, I don't know. Like right now, like most of the content online is probably AI generated. Even the movies that been released in the past few months have like been AI generated in terms of like scripts and everything else. So it's not about AI generating or not. It's about you being able to identify if that generation is good enough. And if you find that is good enough for you, will probably be good enough for another human. Okay. So,
We have another question there.
First of all, thank you very much. It was a very complete presentation. I have two questions. Firstly, when your target audience are many different types, okay? So you have one product and one service, but it can cater to many different types. How would you approach that on a website? Would you have specific landing pages for different target audience?
I think you can definitely section the various audiences and their pains, their motivations, their necessities, and build a campaign around each of them. Obviously, that will be a lot of work, but that will guarantee that you will really talk and get to whoever you need, and really show that one service or one product is really well-rounded and it can get to a lot of different people if you focus on that pain and build a campaign around it and really talk to that segment of your audience so that you won't negligence any of them and only focus on one because the majority probably will buy for that reason.
Okay. And the second question is, coming from a startup and with innovation, how do you get the trustworthy part where there is very few other systems that can compare to yours?
Okay, so like very few means that are always someone out there is competing. So, but
In our case, nationally, there's nobody. So
well, that's a good opportunity. But then, like when we say competition, it doesn't always mean direct competitors.
exactly.
It could mean the people that are competing for the same keywords, for the same answers.
Mhm.
So that could be like something that you could go and try to get. Go to G2, like I said, Trustpilot, Capterra, and go from that point of view. So what are the questions? What are the keywords? What are the phrases that people are using online to find my product, and other companies are using or sharing the same pool as well?
Okay.
Because we don't, most of times online, we don't compete with companies like ours. We compete with companies that produce content that is inside our universe, inside the bubble as well.
Thank you.
Any other question?
Okay.
No.
We'll have
Yes, let me just say to everyone that is watching us online. So Flow Productions, they have your email addresses. So after the event, they will send an information about the clinics. I think it's easier than just waiting for everyone to send an email. So after the event, everyone will get information about this new project of them. So I think it will be easier.
Okay.
I just have a question, like a wrap up. Because as a business CEO, sometimes all of this is super overwhelming. And most of the times we see so many AI tools that when we see we are already using a lot of things, and at the end of the day, we are not using any of them. So what would you say that it's the first step that everyone should start doing, or a CEO should start?
Okay, so for me, you should always talk with an AI adoption expert first. So like that's the first thing. They are there to tell you, okay, what tools you should be using, if any tool at all, or if you should be hiring someone to do it for you. You have to, and what you said is really important. For example, we were at the Web Summit last year, and during the event, it was actually talking about that 95% of the AI startups that were at the Web Summit, they will not exist in 1 year from now. So very soon, in a few months from now, 95% of those startups no longer exist. But most people that actually subscribe to them, they're still paying for it. So yeah, finding the right tools with the right partner is the best thing you can do.
So first thing, talk with an expert.
Talk to someone that knows what they're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you, everyone, on behalf of Flow Productions, Algarve STP, and IPBN.
I think we have more questions.
We have another
also.
question? Sorry.
Online, yeah.
Oh,
Okay, what
great.
are maybe the 3 main changes to make to your current website, not optimized for AI, okay, to make it AI searchable and referred? So the main changes would be, the first one is rebuild the code. Second, rebuild the content. Third, the user experience. So like that would be the main things to cover. And that's not something that, okay, it's going to take me months and months to do it. For example, we've been building websites and delivering fully optimized in 30 days. So it's no longer that thing that, oh, okay, it's going to take 6 months. No, that used to be a good excuse. It doesn't along. Yeah.
Other question: How long for AI to take into account your changes?
That's a really good question. Depending on the amount of competition you have, but it can be in just a few weeks. But if you have a lot of competition, then you can like go to 1 to 2 months. And of course, over time, like the link building is a very strong thing here as well, because if you have no one or nothing out there referencing you, then it will take longer. Even if you do a lot of optimization, it will take longer for you to be showing like as a result.
I think this question is great. Is it better to change and adapt your website or start one from scratch?
It depends of the current situation of the website, but as Carlos said, it should be built from scratch with plain HTML. That would be the optimal solution, because these all stages that we were speaking can work together. If we're picking up from something that has already been working, it cannot be the best solution. It won't be the best solution. So, yeah.
So we have another question here. So form does, like if you don't have a form asking for an email, how do you actually send the report? So that's a cool thing. Like we use 2 ways. Like one is by providing like value first. You let those people come to you. They will eventually ask for a meeting or like even inquire for proposal. The second one is, and we do that quite often, is after we provide value, after we give the report, we actually show another pop-up, on not a pop, but a drop-down on a screen. If you want to talk with a, let's say, human being, fill out like your name, email, and phone, and we'll get in contact. So it's not about never adding forms, it's about when to add the form. Like that's the important thing.
It's all about timing.
Exactly.
Just checking if we have
Yeah, we have, I think we have like a couple more.
questions.
Can you give
5 examples of, can you give examples of the 5 clear signals on a product page?
I've already answered a lot.
Yeah.
5 clear signals.
On a product page.
I mean,
Signals that the page is well built.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, one of the first would be that if the content is easily readable, okay? So let's say on contrast-wise, and this is more of a design, but the size of the typography as well, if it's something that's correct and it's in line, if you have legibility, contrast, if it answers the questions that people are looking for, as we previously said, and yeah, and the website should be built following all those steps. So essentially, it needs to answer the person's question. That would be the priority.
And just on that, like we have the visible signals, the visible build, so we get like what users see. But very important as well is what you have behind. So for example, there are very strict rules around accessibility. Google wrote that like those rules a long time ago, and it does force you to use them. For example, the ARIA framework for building the content and the links and all the code behind it. So that's really important as well. So it's not just what we see, it's also all the metadata and what is behind the code as well. That is really important. So accessibility is a big thing. GDPR is actually a really big thing right now, as everyone knows. You could get big fines if you don't apply it. And GDPR is not just putting a consent box with do you accept cookies or whatever. You actually need to build it in the code as well. So if you're requesting data from people, how do you protect that data? If they want you to erase that data, how do they go about erasing that data from your website, from your servers, from your databases? So all that must be built into the websites as well. Not just, again, not just for the user on the, like on the front, but also everything that's happening on the back. Okay.
So at the end of the day, talk to an expert.
Yes,
Yeah.
right. Because it can,
Ideally, yeah.
it can cost you a lot of money. It's like
Exactly.
we saw some, I can't remember the name of the company, but they actually, it was a big example of it. They was collecting a lot of data about people, and they were saving everything forever in the databases, and they send it, I don't remember is the exact terms, but they sent, I think was almost 1 year after they send information to people, and they had like sensitive data about them. They actually got sued for that. Because by the European like GDPR, I think you can only keep information for 2 months initially, and then you have to send them an email requesting to keep that information on your database. So simple things like that we don't like really look at, but they can come back to you and onto you like
They're
as a big fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So any last minute question?
Well, we're gonna have the networking as well, but yeah, please.
Sorry, just one last question about WordPress sites. If you've got a WordPress and you suggest we move away from that and just do HTML?
The thing about WordPress websites is like to be able to make a website that a user without any coding knowledge can change practically everything. It means that instead of writing 2,000 lines of code, is probably writing 10,000, 20,000 lines of code. And that makes the website really heavy and makes it like the first part of the content to load. It takes a lot longer. It's not that WordPress is a bad solution. It's not that like 20% of the world's websites are like on WordPress. But if you want speed, if you want to like provide answers really quick, you need to move away from slow solutions and go to something that will deliver, like we've shown in a few milliseconds, it shows you the information.
Okay, I think that right now we don't have any other questions. So on behalf of Flow Productions, Algarve STP, and also IPBN, I'd like to thank to our speakers. I'd like to thank to all of you that are here with us at Waltech Campus, and also the ones that are with us virtually. Unfortunately, you guys will miss the networking moment, but hopefully on the next event you are able to join us. So okay, yeah. So in the next event, Flow will bring beers. So we hope to see you there. I hope you leave with practical ideas from this event that you can start applying as soon as possible. So I would say enjoy the networking time. We have some beverages there. We have some food in there. So enjoy the moment. And if you have any other questions, you can talk with the team during this moment. Thank you.